As the United States tries to broker a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, the question is, will Antony Blinken finally succeed where he has failed so many times before? As per reports, Blinken's message to Israeli leaders on Monday was clear. This ceasefire proposal, backed by the US, could be their last real chance to secure the release of Israeli hostages and bring some semblance of lasting security to West Asia. In fact, he called it a decisive moment, one that may not come again.
I'm here as part of an intensive diplomatic effort on President Biden's instructions to try to get this agreement to the line and ultimately over the line. It is time for it to get done. It's also time to make sure that no one takes any steps that could derail this process. And so we're working to make sure that there is no escalation, that there are no provocations, that there are no actions that in any way could move us away from getting this deal over the line, or, for that matter, escalating the conflict to other places and to greater intensity. I know this is a fraught moment in Israel, with deep concern about the possibility of attacks coming from Iran, coming from Hezbollah, and other sources.
You heard what Blinken had to say. It's hard to ignore the cloud of skepticism hanging over this latest attempt at peace. Blinken, remember, is on his 9th trip to the region since the October 7 war between Israel and Hamas broke out. So will this visit finally be the one that succeeds, or is it just another footnote in his shuttle diplomacy? As per reports, both Hamas and Israel have already expressed doubts over the ceasefire deal. Reportedly, the Israeli Prime Minister has made it clear that he will not withdraw from the Philadelphia corridor along the Gaza-Egypt border, a key demand from Hamas. And Hamas, on the other hand, accuses America of siding with Israel, claiming that the proposal reflects Netanyahu's demands while ignoring those of Hamas. You see, Blinken is walking a tightrope. He is meeting not only with Netanyahu, but also with the Israeli Defense Minister, Yoav Gallant, all while trying to keep the peace process alive. He is urging all the parties to avoid any provocations that could derail the fragile talks. But the reality is that this is a fraught moment, as Blinken himself put it. The specter of a regional conflict looms large, with threats from Iran, Hezbollah, other regional players only adding to the volatility. After Israel, Blinken is reportedly headed to Egypt, another crucial player in this ongoing negotiations. But let's not forget, this is not the first time Blinken has embarked on such a mission. Since October 7, Blinken has crisscrossed West Asia as part of what many have called shuttle diplomacy. His frequent visits have made headlines, but they have also raised questions about their effectiveness. What's the end result? And are these trips truly diplomatic breakthroughs? Or are they merely a symbol of America's waning influence in the region? Let's just take a step back and look at the bigger picture here. Blinken's efforts have been met with criticism in the past for failing to produce tangible outcomes. Previous attempts at negotiating a truce, allowing humanitarian aid into Gaza, and easing the Israel-Hamas war have all fallen short. And now, with the situation even more dire, the humanitarian crisis in Gaza worsening, a potential polio outbreak looming, and the stakes heightened by the deaths of key figures like the Hamas political chief, Ismail Haniyeh, and Hezbollah's military chief, Fuad Shukr, the pressure on Blinken to deliver is immense. And there's also Iran to consider, of course. As per reports, Iran has indicated that it is holding off on striking Israel while the hostage ceasefire talks continue. But that restraint, you see, is conditional. If Iran perceives that Israel is dragging out these negotiations, or if the talks collapse entirely, a direct attack on Israel could be imminent. Furthermore, Iran and Hezbollah are reportedly planning on assassinating a high-ranking Israeli figure, as per reports. And this only adds another layer of urgency to Blinken's mission. So where does all of this leave West Asia? Blinken is once again at the center of a high-stakes diplomatic push, and the outcome is far from certain. If Blinken fails to secure a breakthrough now, it could very well be his last chance to make a meaningful impact in the region. And the question remains, will Blinken succeed this time? Or will this latest attempt at diplomacy end up as just another entry in a long list of failed efforts? The clock is ticking. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.